You are classified as a first felony offender, currently serving a life sentence for a conviction in West Baton Rouge Parish, second-degree murder in 1977. Your parole eligibility date was August 1st of 2017. Is all that information correct, Mr. Patterson?
Right, the crime happened in 1976.
But you were sentenced in 1977.
1977, yes.
Okay. All right. So tell us about it, Mr. Patterson. You know, what happened? You know, why are you in prison and why should we vote to release you early?
Crime happened with my girlfriend. At the time, her daddy come, I was at her house the night that it happened. Her daddy come, he tapped me on the shoulder because I was asleep and I was holding my son. He had told me to fear, say go over to the saloon, get Netta, tell her to come home and look after her baby. I said, yes, sir. Put the son down in the little playpen, walked over there and tapped Netta on the shoulder. I said, your daddy said, come home, look after the baby. I left out before work. I went back to her house, picked my little son back up. He come through the door, got in front of me, went on this little bath water thing to clean him up and everything. I didn't say much or nothing to her, but that happened. And when she cleaned him up, she went upstairs with him, put him, laid him in the bed, took him about. I went upstairs, but I had sauce, white sauce, a knife in my hand. I went up there to ask her, come downstairs, cut me a piece of her mother's sweet potato pie. Boy, she blowed up on me. Like I say, from that point, that's when it went in.
All right. Gordon Bickham, what can you tell us about Mr. Patterson?
Good morning. He's been at KCI since 2012. So he's been here a good while. He last write-up was in 2013 for a fight. So he stays out there a lot of, you know, as you know, he's in a wheelchair. I have him a nurse practitioner here if y'all have any medical questions, but basically he doesn't, with his medical issues, he stays out of trouble, but doesn't give us any issues like that. He does a good job.
Gordon Bickham, could she give us a brief update real quick on his health?
Yes, sir, Mr. Freeman. She's coming right now.
Morning. Mr. Ben's got multiple medical problems. I assume he was transferred here due to his kidney failure and he's on dialysis. He also has some heart conditions. He's had heart attacks in the past. He has some heart irregularity in the rhythm. He's on blood thinners. He's got liver failure as well. He's just got a lot of chronic medical problems that are not going to get any better.
Thank you, ma'am.
And is he ever able to get out of the wheelchair? Is he mobile at all?
He walks a little bit, but I think it's mostly weakness that keeps him in the wheelchair most of the time.
Okay. Well, thank you for being there. We're going to move and hear from Mr. Myers. Could we hear from you, please?
Yeah. Good morning, Kerry Myers with Louisiana Parole Project. We're here to let the board know that we supported Mr. Patterson as an Act 280 lifer. We supported him at his last hearing. His health has continued to decline. Since then, Want to let the board know we, along with Ms. Hutchinson, we've been working with the institution to find him, should the board grant him parole, find him placement in a nursing facility. His medical conditions are beyond our capacity to manage, but we would, if he is granted and is placed in a nursing home, we will follow up to make sure he's getting the care that he needs.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hutchinson, I'd like to hear from you.
Thank you, Board. Mr. Ben comes before the committee today, remorseful and taking responsibility for the harm he's caused. He understands that he should have walked away and not let his emotions and anger get the better of him. He is abundantly aware that it was solely his actions that caused Ms. Netta's death and the devastation to her family. At the time of his crime, his life sentence allowed him with parole eligibility after 40 years, which is how he is eligible for that today. I did want to give just kind of a brief background because in his 2019 hearing, it was largely denied because of his inability to, or him not having completed enough rehabilitative programming. But as the warden explained, Mr. Ben is in the clinic 7 days a week because of his diabetes, and then 3 days a week for dialysis. So he's extremely limited in the ability to kind of go into classes. Plus, even with representation of him, he's had frequent hospital visits and things like that, that just limit his ability. Also, in 1977, when he entered into prison, rehabilitative programming as we see it today was not the same. He was a lifer, and that programming was likely not available to him until the 90s. And by then he was a Class A trustee for prison enterprises at Angola. He worked the combines in the tractors for about 20 years, sometimes 16 hours a day. So we hope that you see that dedication within that position to show that he was disciplined, reliable, and had a strong work ethic. I just wanted the committee to just be aware of the circumstances around him not having the programming that you typically see. I did give you all a very short pages 4 to 6 in my memo, going over just his chronic medical conditions, which the nurse practitioner was able to go over with you all. And it is the reason that once I began working with Mr. Ben, we realized that he would be better suited in a nursing facility. So because of his severe and multiple chronic health conditions, they've also drastically reduced his physical ability, movement, and independence, truly eliminating any possibilities of him reoffending. Today, we ask that you review his remorse, accountability, his extensive work history, his good behavior. He's had about almost half a century of incarceration. He's been, I think, 75% of his write-ups were over 20 years ago. If released, we're just asking that he be sent to a nursing facility or a healthcare facility to ensure he continues to receive the proper care. And while DCI has been amazing taking care of Mr. Patterson, I think it would be beneficial for the staff to be able to focus that attention on people who may not be able to be released because they still pose a threat to society, where Mr. Ben does not, but still requires so much care. Again, we are only seeking parole for Mr. Ben to be sent to a nursing facility as a condition. He does have the support of 3 living siblings who are watching on YouTube. However, their ages range from the late 60s to the late 70s, and they are just not capable of attending to Mr. Ben's healthcare needs, but they are willing to work with us and any nursing home facility that would be available to take Mr. Ben. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate the information. Well, before we start our interview, we'd like to hear from the opposition. Could we hear first from Ms. Jennifer Solomon? Good morning.
I'm addressing you all because I'm saying you may have health condition, but I was there when it was happening. And the accounts of the event that he gave you all is not correct. My dad was not home that evening, but I was there and my mother was there. I had with Johnny, that was the baby, he was 10 months old. Then Lily was waiting outside the home when she came home. When she came home, she didn't even realize he had came in the house behind her. She went upstairs to get ready for bed. When she got ready for bed, he literally went to our kitchen and got a knife and went upstairs. And started stabbing her. My mom heard, and I heard we ran upstairs. My mom literally watched her daughter die in her arms. I watched her die in my mom's arms. I mean, it's not like she could get up off of her cooling bed and come home to her family. You understand that? He told her if he couldn't have her, no one else would. That means he even took the child's mother away from the 10-month-old child. I don't feel like he deserves to come home either. It's just not fair. We just recently had a family gathering, and this young man was so excited to have a picture of him and his mom together. She didn't like to take pictures, but at this reunion, he was really like, "That's me and my mom there. That's me and my mom there." That's the only thing he had of his mom. That's the only memory he has, because he don't remember anything else. Everything else he's learning from family. I mean, I'm sorry, I just can't. I know. I can't see him coming home.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Thank you, Ms. Jennifer.
Where is the son now?
He lives in the family home.
Okay.
And this young man, when it comes to his mom, he was teased. He's so full of anger about his mom that he don't even want you to bring up Patterson's name.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Sidonia. You want to speak, Ms. Sidonia? Come in. You got Ms. Drusilla?
I am the niece of Annette. She's my mom's sister, and she was like a mother to me. She worked at a daycare. I went to that daycare. Because of what happened to her son, and I didn't do it. He had nightmares. He is still going through a life. And the last thing that he would need is someone that's continually lying about what's happening to be in his ear. I initially went here before, asked about rehab, rehabilitation, and things of that nature, and I said that he have gotten it done. But until you can admit what you have done, you can't change who you are, and he's a master. She had went on with her because he was abusive. He did not want her with anyone else, and he said that he did not want to see her move on without him. He said that he hid out, he snuck into the home, he murdered her with a knife out of the kitchen. He ran in the cane field and watched the police look for him. Rehabilitation comes more than with just the paperwork saying you have rehabilitated. I would think you would have to admit to yourself the truth, what is going on, and to continually bring me here for your parole hearing and lie each time about what happened. Kind of twist the knife in my gut. I don't know if I'm expressing myself correctly. Because there's so much that is inside of me with this. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You did a good job. Thank you. All right, Mr. Patterson, your case was assigned to Mr. Tillis.
Good morning, Mr. Patterson. How are you? How long have you served?
49 and a half.
I see we were only, how many classes did you take while you were incarcerated?
Yeah. When I got here at BCI, the only one I took was the living in balance, I think. Think of going home, staying home.
Do you remember what year that was? I noticed that you just started taking some classes.
The pre-release classes. I just started, like you said, I just started them 2 or 3 weeks ago.
When you were in Angola, why didn't you take some classes?
I didn't have them. What that ain't going, the classes they had, people serving life couldn't attend at that time.
I noticed your story. I read your case, and I noticed your story doesn't match up with the opposition.
The opposition, I can say, is this. I know how they feel. Like, only thing I can say is that I'm sorry that this happened. But some of what they said wasn't true.
I heard in your statement early on, you had a knife when you were going upstairs to cut a pie or something. You had a knife with you when you went upstairs?
Yeah, I had a little white glass saucer and the knife. And I walked upstairs to ask her to come downstairs with me. And go and cut me a piece of the pie. And I was gonna sit right there at the table and eat the pie.
I have no more questions.
I do. Yes, sir, I agree with Mr. Tillis. Your story does not match up with your police report even, which matches up with what the her family was saying. It says that you were across the street watching at the bar, the White Owl bar. Then you got up and you walked in there and you asked if she was there and you didn't see her at the time, so you went to the house. And she wasn't at the house, and I mean, it was just a block away, so you could walk back and forth. So you went back to the bar. When you went back, she was sitting at the table with a man. That's what brought you to the house. So you did see her with a man. And it is common for domestic violence victims to hear the words, if I can't have you, nobody else will. And quite often it's carried through. So you were obviously very angry about what you saw, and you went back to the house. Family was taking care of the baby, but you didn't like that. And she did come home, and you had the knife from the kitchen, and you went upstairs, and then you started stabbing her. And then later in your police statement, you said that you knew what you did, and when I did it intentionally. All of those are in the police report. Now, things do change. Your health has changed. It's changed for the worse with your age. There's no doubt about that. But what hasn't changed is the grief and the loss that this family shares from an intentional act out of anger because she found someone else. Do you have anything to say about that? With the police report saying, I mean, this was your words back then, your statement.
And I would like to express that the police report is not my word because at the night of the accident,
Wasn't an accident,
well, the night of the crime,
crime.
I was at Netta's house from about 7 o'clock that evening up until her daddy come and tapped me on the shoulder because I was asleep in his chair and the baby was asleep right here in my left arm. He asked me to go over to the saloon to get
There's
Netta.
not, I tell you what, I've already said what I have to say. There's nothing in the police report about that, which is your statement. So I don't have any further questions.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay, I don't see any other questions, so, Mr. Patterson, I think we are prepared to vote. Mr. Tillis,
My vote is going to be to deny.
Ms. Stapleton,
Denied based upon law enforcement opposition, victim opposition, and the violent nature of the crime.
Mr. Bauer,
I vote to deny. The offender still hasn't accepted full responsibility for what he did.
Mr. Freeman,
I would have voted to grant with no, contact with the victims or West Baton Rouge Parish.
my vote is also to grant to the nursing home facility only with the support of the parole project and also with special conditions, no contact with the family and may not return to West Baton Rouge Parish and reconsideration should his condition improve. However, it requires a unanimous vote today, so the outcome of today is that Mr. Patterson's parole is denied.
Let me know what you think about this case in the comments below. And if you like this video, please hit subscribe for new videos every week.